What makes something top tier, best in slot, or even meta? Now this is largely a very convoluted question simply just because it depends on the circumstance at hand and what exactly it is the game is designed for you to do. Typically for PvE games where the idea is to kill things, damage has always been defined as the defining reason for best in slot, meta, top tier setups, etc. What allows you to get the most damage on target the quickest. Now obviously there are going to be caveats to this. If you're dead or down, you can't do damage. But this is mostly immaterial. A lot of games throughout the ages that have focused on a PvE element of the game where the idea is to do damage, their main purpose has always been to increase the output or the DPS of this desired build to the maximum amount possible, allowing you as the player to experience that power that a lot of games strive for. It's not always that fun running around getting your head kicked in, so you build more and more powerful builds so that you're able to deal with the more difficult content, allowing you to feel that absolute god tier level of power that we all know and love in games like RPGs, ARPGs, MMOs, as well as a variety of others encompassing this overall aspect. In short, damage is king. Now to show this, I did a little test. Standard headhunter with Regulus. I was not allowed to take cover and I was not allowed to use my shield, and as you can see here my revive hive is on cooldown. I'm basically just not allowed to revive. I have to do convoys one try. With standard headhunter Regulus, this is pretty damn easy. I'm in no real immediate danger and I'm able to clear content very easily and just kill everything. Not a problem, despite the fact that this build is just completely red. I have 6 red cores and all attributes are headshot handling. However, for the next test, I then put Headhunter on, Chainkiller. I also put on a D&H backpack with Adrenaline Rush and 4-piece Foundry. All these rolls are set to headshot. I have 4 blue cores, 2 red cores, and yeah, I wasn't able to complete a single resource convoy. Resource convoys are ridiculously easy. It is literally just kill them, pick up the resources and go. And this is literally the end result, despite the fact that I have more armor, as well as the fact that I'm apparently more survivable. I'm not. I'm dying so much quicker and so much easier. I actually wanted to continue this test. Problem is I was getting so beyond frustrated that I ended up just turning the game off and just carrying on with my life because, yeah, blue cores were literally getting me killed. I went from being able to one-shot reds, purples and elites, maybe taking 1 or 2 shots on a named elite, to literally taking 4 shots to kill a red. During those 4 shots, they are able to do a lot more damage to me. As such, so are his friends. Ergo meaning, blue cores are not really the way to go for a lot of the PvE content in this game. So from here, where do we go about sorting out what is like best in slot, top tier, meta, etc. Well, it quite simply is just what takes the least amount of bullets to actively kill something in the vast majority of scenarios. We can't literally cover every scenario simply just because for most PvE content, Regulus Headhunter is the absolute meta. Then you come across the aerial recon drone. You might have even done a dum-dum like me. I went into the stovepipe manhunt mission with a Headhunter's Fury build, thinking I'm just going to Regulus my way through this. It'll be easy, problem solved. Yeah, 2 Marauders, a shit ton of drones, and a couple of Warhounds later, yeah, it really wasn't working out. I had to swap to Strikers. So, it ends up being a calculation. What is going to be the best in slot for the vast majority of scenarios, and it's calculations that I have shown several times utilizing spreadsheets. Whatever one has the bigger number tends to be the meta, the best in slot, or the top tier. And the reason I'm doing this video is because I recently just finished off doing a tier listing of the exotic weapons, and some people were upset about Scorpio only being, I think I put it in A, simply just because there is no way for it to be an S tier weapon. Despite the fact that some people were angry about this, I will not yield. And pretty soon, I'm going to be doing the exact same thing with the exotic gear pieces. Now, I've already alluded to this on stream. I actually outright said it. But obviously, we're going to be covering Memento. Yeah, this is going to be fun. Now, just to show the difference in this, what we have here is a standard Strikers shotgun setup. 4-piece Strikers, chest to chest with Obliterate, Coyote's Mask. We have a Scorpio and a Marine Super 90. Both have 60% crit chance with this setup. The Scorpio, due to attachments at close range buff with Coyotes, will have 152 critical hit damage. Both have 65% headshot. Both come with 12% damage to armor. The real difference here is going to be that 10% damage to targets out of cover, where Scorpio gets an extra 10% critical hit damage. I have also added in the 20% multiplier from Scorpio, which you can see under AMP 2. And from this, hopefully we can see that the average DPS of the Super 90 is going to be 6.69% higher than Scorpio. I should also probably mention that I didn't add pummel into the equation, so that's what this looks like. Now suddenly the Super 90 is doing 25.25% more. Yeah, please explain to me how Scorpio is a top tier weapon. It's not a bad weapon, I have nothing against it, but to state that it is a top tier weapon is just utterly not true. Now if we do the same again, but for a Headhunter build, Headhunter's Fury for example, we've got Scorpio versus the custom M870. Now this one's going to be a little bit harder to follow, but it is all here, I promise you. The first shot with Scorpio is going to do 8.3 million, and then with full stacks you'll be doing 24.7 million. The first shot with the M870 is 13.5 million, and with total stacks it's 38.5. This is near enough a 60% increase. Granted, percentage increases of like 1 or 2% don't really account for much, but we're able to do a lot more damage than Scorpio itself. So now what would happen if we got 4-piece Strikers, Memento backpack, a Seska chest with crit chance, crit damage. We're not going to worry about a chest talent for now. And if we put this up against a same build essentially, but we've got a 511 backpack with blue core, repair skills, armor regen, a crit chance mod and vigilance. Obviously I've done this, so you don't need to ask what one will do more. 511 has 85% all weapon damage, where I've calculated the Memento build to actually have full Memento stacks, coming in at 130% all weapon damage. The rest of the stats are basically the exact same, minus the total weapon damage because the 511 has vigilance. 511 wins by 3.37%. Now obviously, Memento gives a lot more than damage, but when you're under fire, 3% armor regen means literally nothing, so you're still going to take damage the same as any other build that doesn't have 3% armor regen. The best thing about Memento is 1, it gives you a skill tier 2 shield with literal minimal effort, and 2, it's the skill efficiency. Memento is best suited for skill builds because it gives skill efficiency. Now, ask me if Memento's an S tier backpack, especially considering you can outperform it with a rainbow rolled 511 backpack. It literally just needs vigilance and you can outperform Memento completely and utterly. It's not even funny. Obviously this does not mean you should not or cannot run these item pieces in your builds. It is very evident that Scorpio is a very prominent shotgun, and it is beyond thrown in my face how much people like Memento. You can run these pieces, I am not saying don't. What I am saying is they're not as good as people think they are, and they are absolutely categorically not the best in-slot items you can run on a vast majority of builds. And obviously you can disagree with me. I just provide the numbers, you do with them what you wish. I'm not trying to tell you you can or can't run X, Y, Z. All I'm doing is providing you the numbers, and the numbers say Memento is not that powerful. Scorpio is not that powerful. Anyway, Hopefully this is going to clear up a few things and hopefully prepare a few people for when I inevitably say that Memento is not S tier. In the meantime though, have fun, good luck, and don't die. It's bad for the health.